I welcome Dr. Saili on the platform of vedayuonline.com and sorry for the delay. Today's topic is Bij Shuddhi, that is healthy child and healthy future. So Dr. Saili, just start your session now and at the end we will do the rest of the things, okay?
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Sheetal, and thank you, the organizer team, for allowing me and giving me this opportunity. Am I audible? Hello?
Audible.
Sorry, hello?
Yes, audible, properly
Okay,
audible.
okay, okay. So I'll start with my lecture. So, namaskar, everyone. My topic is Bija Shuddhi. So today we will understand the topic of Bija Shuddhi. It is necessary for having a healthy child, which is essentially means having a healthy future. Bija Shuddhi is divided into three parts, that is Bija Sanskar, which we do preconception, Garbha Sanskar, which we do during pregnancy, and Sutika Paricharya, which is the first 6 months after birth. Oh, sorry, just a minute. Huh? Yeah. So, what are the requirements of conception? Just give me a minute. Yeah. Okay. The concept of garbha and garbhotpatti is described systematically in ancient Samhitas. The knowledge of garbhotpatti helps to generate suitable condition for the conception of healthy fetus. Also, the garbha is a combination of four factors coming together in a proper way. So, what are the two factors are Rutu, Kshetra, Ambu, and Bija. So, if we consider, let's take an example of a tree. Consider we want to plant a tree for which we need seed, soil, season, and the right nourishment. Same is the case in the birth of a child. So, investigation few months in taking right care before conception is the best preventive medicine. This we will have lifelong effects on your child. In today's world, with the pollution, fast food, mental and physical stress, Bija Shuddhi is very essential. The preconception period offers a golden opportunity to provide the best care for your child. So, we will discuss every factor in detail. So, first factor is Rutu. Uh, so, first point is age and gender. Okay. The favorable season for conceiving is what Rutu is about. So, fertile age for a female is 12 to 50 years, and for male, it's loosely defined. However, with age, the quality and quantity of semen declines. With the age of parent, there is a more dosha sanchiti. That's why Shodhan is important. For example, comparing ages of 18 and 35, 35 age parent will have more dosha sanchiti. So third point is period of menstrual cycle. It is usually considered from 8th to 16th day from the start of periods that can be examined with the help of ovulation study. We perform few sonographies to understand maturation period of the ovum. According to Acharya, the fourth most important point is sattvic diet. Sattvic diet includes dudha, that is dugdha, ghruta, madhu, that is honey, helps in extending the fertile period in a woman. Spicy foods fried food has bad effects on this fertile period. What are the challenges we are facing today as a Vaidya? Today's challenges are like elderly primi gravida. That is the woman who gets pregnant for the at the age of 35 or more than that. Nowadays, by the time women reach the age of 35, there are high chances of them having diseases like obesity, thyroid, PCOD, diabetes, etc., which complicates conception, pregnancy, and delivery. In male patients, as age increases, there is an impact on sperm volume, motility, and sperm morphology. So, next factor is kshetra, that is garbhashaya, which means uterus. The term Garbhashaya is derived by the combination of two words, that is Garbha and Ashaya. Garbhashaya provides a space for development of Garbha and also protects the Garbha from external pressure and trauma. The Shuddha Garbhashaya is essential for the safe conception and the development of fetus. Any abnormality to uterus gives rise to infertility. So, what are the challenges we are facing today? Rest during menstrual period. This is a very important point which we are neglecting nowadays. Earlier, this was being done because of the religious purpose. However, lately this has become a taboo. In advertisement, women are shown playing and jumping. However, the rest is very important as there is a vata dosha prakopa naturally. It means there is an aggravation of a vata dosh in your body naturally. If you do more activities like exercises, traveling, cooking during periods, this increases vata pitta dosha, aggravated pitta or kapha dosha blocks the way of vata. That's why women complain of abdominal cramps and many other symptoms. Even bathing affects the menstrual flow. I'm not advocating complete bed rest or quarantine during periods, but physical exertion should be avoided as far as possible. The second point is of contraceptive pills or infertility treatments. Contraceptive pills, these pills are hormonal therapies which affect the regular menstrual cycles. Contraceptives are Ushna Guna Pradhana. These aggravates Pitta dosha, which is not good neither for sperm nor for conception. The third point from the slide is size of uterus. Nowadays, women's body goes through many dieting plans. As I have said earlier, Sattvic diet includes milk, ghee, madhu, that is honey, and madhura rasa pradhana dravyas, that is sweet in taste. So, if the diet plan does not have these sattvic components, it affects the uterus and the uterus bed size. Many women come to our clinic with sonographies showing the uterine bed size is less. We call it as a shushka garbha. The tubal blocks and fibroids. 35% of cases are coming with the tubal blocks. This is because people are not exercising well, having junk and spicy food. And the last point is Mutra Vegavarod, which is again very important point. Nowadays, teachers or those who give presentations have tendency to hold their urine. This causes urine tract infections. Its frequency is increasing day by day. And as vagina is very close to urethra, there is vaginitis, cervicitis, and so on. So the next factor is ambu. The term ambu represents rasadhatu, that is nutritional elements. which is formed after complete digestion of ahar. The main function of a rasadhatu is a prenan, that is nourishment. According to Ayurveda, the ahar rasa, that is essence of food formed after digestion of food consumed by the mother, is divided into three parts. That is, first part is it nourishes her body, second promotes the formation of milk, and third nourishes the garbha. The challenges today we are facing are irregular and fluctuating menstrual flow. Uh, the irregular or fluctuating menstrual flow is because of the Agni Mandya. Agni is a basically digestive system which is not working properly. That's why it is called as a Agni Mandya. There is a saying, periods are nothing but the uterus crying for not having had a baby. That means in the cycle, if conception doesn't happen, uterine bed shuts off. It happens in every month. But due to irregular menstrual flow, the uterine bed size gets affected. According to Charaka, Agni-mandya is the basic cause of all diseases. So today we are facing PCOS, that is polycystic ovarian syndrome, thyroid, diabetes, obesity are more results of Agni-mandya. These diseases are so linked with each other, they are like brothers to each other. And the fourth element is Bija, which we will of course discuss further. So let's understand our topic. Topic name is Bija Shuddhi. So let's understand what is Bija and what is Shuddhi. So Bija denotes the Shukra, sperm of a man, and Artava, ovum of a woman. The qualities of a Shukra and of course Artava and vitiated Shukra and Artava by Vata Pitta Kapha dosha are described in details. Nowadays, different factors affecting Bija. Male bija, that is Shukra, sperm, let's understand its Shuddha bija lakshana. So here its viscosity is discussed. Snigdham, ghanam, pichilam. So pichilam means not so sticky, not so viscous, but there has to be some viscosity. The next thing is madhuram. Its rasa is defined here. Avidahi, that means there should not be any inflammation or burning sensation. Retaha means shukra, shuddham, janiyat, shvetam, spatikam, sannibham. That is, its color is defined. It should be white spatigam. So, snigdham ganam pichilam, madhuram cha avidahi cha, retaha shuddha janiyat, shvetam, spatikam, sannibham. So, what is vitiating factors to shukra? That is ati maithuna. Ati maithuna is a frequent intercourse, unnatural ways of intercourse that includes under this ati vyayama. That is again a very big challenge in front of us today. As according to Ayurveda, doshas are defined or aligned in a specific manner. That is rasa, rakta, mausa. That is third dhatu, mausa, Meda, Asthi, Majja, and lastly Shukra. Shukra is a cream or essence of your all body composition. Shukra is a cream that is a beach of a male body. The sequence is according to Ayurveda. So nowadays, person are doing the second cause which I have written here, that is Ati Vyayama. A person who does ati vyayama, for example, a bodybuilder, they work on muscle building. Their diet is so aligned for just a muscle pumping action that affects the further dhatu development, which I have mentioned. That is fourth dhatu, that is meda, again asthi, majja, and shukra. So shukra is the last dhatu. If they are pumping their muscles, then the further dhatus underdeveloped, gets underdeveloped. So That's the bija. And what is a female bij? Is Artav, ovam. We'll understand its Shuddha Lakshana, that is Gunjafala Savarnamcha. When we used to kid, we used to collect that Gunjafala, that is red color seeds we used to collect. So that they are mentioning their color, that Artava color here, that Gunjafala Savarnamcha, Padma Laktaka Sannibham. The dancers used to like what we call um, alta. They used to color their hands in with a red color. So that is similar to Artava. Indrakopa Sankasham. It's an insect which we find in early early rainy season. Yeah, that's the thing. So that the color is defined here. Again, they are defining the color Laksha Rasa और शश रक्त मतलब रैबिट का खून ये सब चीजें उससे मैच करती है एंड अस्राभम धौत यच्च विरज्यते and this is again an interesting point which is mentioned by acharya. uh, you can perform a quick test of your blood purity at home. uh, it's not only for menstrual flow, it's for any blood. If there is a cut, you can use that blood for the test. Take a few drops of your blood and put them on your cloth. Let it dry for some time and then wash it with the water. If the stain goes away, it's a pure blood or a good quality blood. If if the stain remains, it means the blood has impurities. And that is what they have defined here, which we can perform anytime. If there are impurities in your blood, then it need to uh, you need a chikitsa for that. So artavdushti causes, what are the vitiating causes for that? Lavana, that is namkeen. We prefer having extra salts in our food, that vitiates our artav. Amla, that is khatta, or we can say acidic in nature. Katu means spicy or tikha. Ushna is ushna. Shara, vidahi means which causes burning effect. Medo bahula, this is very common. We eat nowadays cheese and paneer, which is a medo bahula, which affects our artha. And the last is mutra dharan, which we have already discussed. Because of the if we hold our urine, our UTI tract get infected, and further vaginitis and cervicitis, so on. So rest during menstrual periods, that is also we have already discussed. PCOD, diabetes, thyroid, these things are causing again Agnimandya, which affects your menstrual flow, which affects your ovum, maturation of ovum, and so on. So these things we should avoid to have a good artava. So we have understood what is Bij. Now we will understand what is Shuddhi. According to Ayurveda, there are two types of chikitsa. First is a Shaman chikitsa and second is a Shodhan chikitsa. Shodhan kriya are indicated every year according to their prakriti, that is body tendencies. Let's understand the same thing with an example. For example, if let's consider a bowl of a sugar kept on a table. Naturally, the sugar attracts the ants. If you want to save the sugar, you have two options. Either you can keep on killing the ants every now and then, or you can just remove the bowl of sugar from the table. The former is known as a shaman, and the latter is known as a shodhana. Let's take another example. If your house is having some bad odor, you can either use room freshener spray, which might solve the problem temporarily, or you can take care of the root cause by thoroughly cleaning the house. Similarly, The former is Shaman Chikitsa and the latter is a Shodhan Chikitsa. It it tells us that if we need to treat a cause, we need to go through its roots so we can clean our body, the Shodhana. We will discuss in further. So why Bija Shuddhi? So we have discussed some specific causes of Bij, that is Shukra and Artava Dushti. Now we will discuss some generalized causes. That is again age. Increased male age is associated with decline in sperm volume, sperm motility, and sperm morphology. Female. Increased female age is associated with an increased risk of spontaneous abortion and also increased frequency of some autosomal dominant conditions, autism spectrum disorders, and schizophrenia. Behavior. Depression develops as an interaction between stress and an individual's vulnerability to stress. Early life stress affects the body and play an important role in the development of stress vulnerability as a risk factor for depression. Also, these antidepressant drugs have an impact on DNA. Third point is stress. Increases risk of overweight in baby. Increases risk of ADHD, that is attention deficit hyperactive activity disorder. Stress also increases risk factor of psychiatric disorders. Fast food. We are very used to this topic. Like poor diet does more than shorten your lifespan. Diet affects bodily systems such as digestive system, endocrine system, reproductive system, etc. Diet defines our immunity. In male patients, high saturated fatty diet affects the sperm count, that is oligospermia, or sugar sweetened beverages affects the sperm quality. In female patients, poor diet causes weight gain with associated elements obesity, PCOS, hypothyroidism, infertility, diabetes. Another point is malnutrition. Underweight mothers common problem is it causes early fall or low birth weight baby, which we have discussed in Garbhashaya, the Kshetra point. If the bed is not well formed, then there will be early fall or the low birth weight baby. Another point is infection, torch infection. This is the most serious during pregnancies and it causes further infertility. Other infections also affects the growth of a baby and mother's health. Okay. Sleep. Insomnia affects female fertility. Good and sound sleep increases chances of natural conception. Alcohol. Fem- uh, it it even hampers the puberty of female. It affects the growth and bone health. It disrupts the normal menstrual cycles. In male patients, chronic alcohol consumption affects reproductive hormones and semen quantity. Smoking. It does not only affects respiratory system, but it has a very much impact on the reproductive system. In female, diseases decreases pregnancy rate, early spontaneous abortion, ovarian reserve alters. In male, spermatozoon, that is, nuclear quality of a sperm compromises. Pharma. Few drug reactions with reproductive system, tight pants. This is specifically for male patient. They need to check their wardrobe. It causes urinary tract infection, overactive bladder, twisted testicles, Testicles function best in slightly cooler environment. Increase in temperature affects the sperm count and its motility. Overuse of plastic affects sperm quality. Yeah. So again, this is a very interesting and fascinating topic. Genetic disorder. Ayurveda is a science of life from thousands of years. Science of genetics in Ayurveda may appear as a new topic, but these ancient scholars of Ayurveda like Charak and Sushruta understood very well the principles of hereditary and nature traits of characters. They knew the fundamentals of genetics, that is, the factor determining the sex of the child, genetic defect like lameness. They said it was not due to any defect in the mother or the father, but in the ovum or sperm of the parents. Ayurvedic acharyas has great knowledge about genetics. Hereditary and congenital types of diseases are classified by Sushrut. Ayurveda mentioned different types of diseases like sthaulya, that is obesity, klebya, that is impotence, prameha, that is diabetes, etc., which is due to defect in the genetic components of a person. Prakruti, that is different types of personality, is also mentioned as a concept of genetics. Ayurveda described about genetic concepts while classifying diseases in various 7 groups. It has been nomenclature as a Adibala Pravritta Vyadhi or a Sahaja Vyadhi. There are references available in respect to Prameha as a Kulaja Vikara. Acharya Charak has described the whole genetic in 3 genetic units in the form of Bija, that is genetic cell, Bija Bhaga, that is chromosome, Bija Bhaga Dravya, that is gene. Acharya Charak has explained that due to any vikruti of Bija Bhaga or a Bija Bhaga Dravya of the couples, so there will be vikriti or a vyapada in the child depending on the gender. Hence, Ayurveda advised Bija Shuddhi of a male and a female body before planning to have a child and take rejuvenation therapy to restore health, which prevents the appearance of genetic disorder. Garbha Samskara. This is again a very fascinating topic of Ayurveda, which we perform during the pregnancy. What are the factors or challenges today we are facing that I would like to elaborate here? Uh, Treatment of maternal disorder, which affects the development of child. Example, diabetes, thyroid. So, what we need to perform regular exercises and yoga for natural delivery and normal growth of the baby, or even disease specific exercises should be advised. Ayurveda have suggested every month medicines and diet plans according to the development of fetus. During pregnancy, mother's mind and body goes through lot of changes. According to the changes, treatments are suggested. Upadravas, that is allied symptoms like nausea, stretch marks, heel pain, or swelling, affects or even gestational diabetes, which is life changing, affects the mental and physical condition of the mother. Designer baby. This is very interesting concept from allopathic world. It is a baby whose genetic makeup has been selected or altered. Many of the time, people come to clinic and say कि हमें हमारा बेटा 6 फीट ऊंचा चाहिए और they say we want our child to be fairer or they say some comes with a very specific requirements like हमें हमारे बेटे को सिंगर बनाना है या फिर क्रिकेटर बनाना है or they want their child to be intellectually very stronger. So these things, they have designer baby module for that. They do it with a genetic makeups. Also, these things can be done by Garbha Sanskara. I do not advocate that we should force any baby for becoming a singer or a cricketer, but we can prepare or well equip that baby with the required things for becoming a singer with a Garbha Sanskara. That is the strength of Garbha Sanskara, which is again there is a lot of need of research. The next point is postpartum care. Postpartum period is commonly defined as the 6 weeks after childbirth. It is very important time for both mother as well as newborn baby as to adjust with each other and your expanded family. In first few hours and days after childbirth, mother experiences many changes both physically and emotionally. Truly, first 6 months are very difficult for a mother as well as her family. We receive maximum complaints in this period. So these are the clinical points I would like to mention. Mother comes with complaints and confusions regarding breastfeeding. There are pain, cracks, or swelling in the nipples. Psychological disturbances are there. Anemia due to blood loss. Mother gets exhausted mentally and physically. Nuclear families. This is the social issue that we are facing now. There are no one to help mother or father for doing the day work and the nighttime work also. Working life balances. मैटरनिटी लीव 3 महीने का मिल जाता है, पर 3 महीने में बच्चा इतना भी बड़ा नहीं होता कि वो छोड़ के जा सकता है. So that causes lot of mental pressure and exhaustion of a female or for mother. And diet, again, these are branches of nuclear families, we can say. बच्चे को संभाले, घर का काम करे, mother and father goes through lot of stress. So these factors are affecting their health. So chikitsa. So this is a very brief roadmap of chikitsa. It varies patient to patient, but we'll understand the concepts. First is a shodhana, that is detoxification of the body. Uh, it it lasts for like 2 to 4 months according to the requirement of the patient body. The second one is Agni Vriddhi. As I have said earlier, all the diseases have basic cause of Agni Mandya. So we need to improve our Agni, our digestive system. So 7 to 15 days treatment for Agni Vriddhi. Dhatugata Dosha Pachan. I have explained the seven dhatus and three doshas, that is vata pitta kapha, which affects the every dhatu, and for their dosha pachana we need 21 days minimum treatment. And the rasayan chikitsa, as I have mentioned again, the seven dhatus, so we need 7 to 8 months chikitsa as a rasayan chikitsa. Again, if there is a rasa dhatu दुष्टि और स्पेसिफिक माउस किसी पेशेंट का वीक है, तो उसके लिए अलग से उस तरीके से चिकित्सा, रसायन चिकित्सा देनी पड़ती है. So this is a roughly estimation I have given of months, but it may changes patient to patient. So pathya and apathya. We have already discussed these topics earlier. We'll discuss it again. Pathya. First is sattvic diet, which I have already told about, like dugdha, ghruta, that is ghee, madhu, that is honey, or madhura rasa pradhana dravyas, or even rice. That is also comes under sattvic diet. Second point is regular exercise and yoga, or even disease specific exercises are required. Third, rest during menstrual cycle, which we have discussed. Fourth is a snigdha, madhura, shita, balakara, जीवनीय द्रव्य. Again, जो मैं कह रही थी कि women goes under lot of dieting plan. These specific factors are eliminated from their diet plan. That is स्निग्ध, मधुर, मीठे को तो छूना भी नहीं है, और बलकर, शुद्ध, ये सब चीजें अलाउड नहीं है. घी लेना अलाउड नहीं है, तेल लेना अलाउड नहीं है. So these are very important elements for your garbhashaya, your artava. And again, panchakarma procedures. Apatya, tikshna, ushna, vidahi, that is burning, which causes burning or inflammation in your body. You should avoid those causing factors. Lavana, that is again namkeen, or if you take extra salts, avoid that. Amla, खट्टा, acidic, कटु, तीखा, उष्ण, क्षार, विदाही, मेदो बहुल, मूत्र वेग धारण. Chinta again causes the nourishment factor. It affects the nourishment factor. Chintanam chati chintana is a cause which affects your digestive system and your rasa dhatu, which we have discussed as a nourishment factor for the baby. That is ambu. The shoka, krodha, bhaya plays the same role in affecting the ambu, the nourishment element of the garbha. Ati vyayama, atapa sevan, agni sevan. These two causes are specifically for a female. Atapa means सन सेवन, मतलब ज्यादा अगर आप धूप में रहते हो या फिर ज्यादा अग्नि के पास रहते हो, तो दैट अफेक्ट्स योर आर्तव, योर पित्त दोष गेट्स aggravated and it affects your artha. Regular alcohol consumption and smoking, insomnia. These points we have discussed already. Aushadha. Panchakarma Chikitsa. Panchakarma Chikitsa is again divided into, for this topic, it's divided into two parts. That is Vaman, Virechan, Basti. It's for general Sharira Shodhan. And Uttar Basti, Pichu, and Dhavan. It's specifically for infertility or a Garbhashaya Shodhan. So Vaman, Virechan, Basti, we will understand. Vaman is by through vomiting और उल्टी करवा के जो दोष बढ़े हैं. Specifically, it's very useful for kapha and pitta dosha. वो उल्टी करवा के दोष बाहर निकाले जाते हैं. विरेचन by जुलाब करके, specifically pitta, and with little help of vata, we use this virechan for pitta and vata dosha. Basti is a specific treatment for vata dosha, which is very helpful in body cleaning, detoxification of the body. Uttar Basti, it helps to remove the tubal blocks or the shushka garbhashay, which I have mentioned. This is the thing, we gives few tela or gurta into through vaginal orifice to your garbhashaya, which nourishes the uterine bed, which is helpful for the baby. Pichu, few medicated oil swabs we put into vagina to help or to gain strength of uterine muscles. Dhavana, Garbhashay Shodhan. We do Garbhashay Shodhan with these few kathas, tela. For that we use Dhavana. Rasayan and Vajikaran Chikitsa. For that we uses these drugs: Shatavari, Yashti Madhu, Ashwagandha, Jivana Dravya in a क्वाथ और a क्षीरपाक फॉर्म. क्षीरपाक फॉर्म इज दूध के साथ हम उसका काढ़ा बनाते हैं. Also त्रिवंग भस्म, वसंत कुसुमाकर, चंद्र प्रभा, वसंत कल्प, मकर ध्वज, च्यवनप्राश, etc. Dashamula and Draksha. This we use for again अग्नि, जो अग्निमांद्य है उसे दूर करने के लिए इन चीजों का फायदा होता है. And lastly, फलघृत, शतावरी घृत. This we use for उत्तर बस्ती, पिशु, धावना, etc. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Saili,
Yeah.
for telling us a nice information about Bija Shuddhi. I think 9th day of Navratri is dedicated to Ma Siddhi Datri. And being a mother is a biggest siddhi of a woman's life. So thank you very much for telling in a simple language that how bija is important, and Shodhan and Ayurveda gives a different angle look on the bija shuddhi. So thank you very much, and we would like to hear you again and again. And this is the ending session of Navratri or series. So thanks for your time, and thanks for the patience listening to listeners also. And we'll meet next time with new topic. And Dr. Saili is specifically a very good research student, as I know her. Since 6 years, she is practicing and doing practice in Varje, Pune, a Pandhari of Ayurveda, and she is very good in sports medicine. So, anyone want to guidance in the different era of Ayurveda and sports medicine, then definitely you can contact to Dr. Saili Vaidya. So, thank you, Saili, once again from the Vedayu platform. And thank you, the listeners, also, and completing this 9 days Navratri with great celebration. Okay, ending the session here, and we'll meet again with the next. And if anyone want to ask question, then please let me know, as time is limited. So we'll take questions. Please directly message me, and I will convey to the Dr. Saili Vaidya.
Yes. Thank you.